Hey, Boaz here from Next Pittsburgh. I'm here in the Strip District, and I'm going into the warehouse here. This is the P3R Warehouse, and we've got Brian Schmidt over here, the Director of Operations, and this is essentially where all the equipment and accessories from Pittsburgh races, from the Pittsburgh Marathon, lives during the year, right?
Absolutely. Pleasure having you guys here. But yeah, this is P3R's warehouse here in the Strip District at U-Haul. P3R is the driving force behind Pittsburgh's premier running events. But all in all, we put on almost 20 events per year throughout the city. But this is where everything lives when it's not out there on the streets of Pittsburgh and Point State Park or wherever we might be that weekend for whatever event it might be.
It's just wild to see everything rather than laid out along miles and miles of race. Here it is just stacked in piles in a little warehouse. It's crazy. Well, let's walk over here a little bit because there is just a lot happening. I'm seeing a lot of cones, a lot of buckets full of concrete, generators. So, I mean, you're just sort of ready to set up a race at any moment.
Exactly. So, we go anywhere like we talked about with the Pittsburgh Marathon, 26.2 miles of distance, of road, of setup, 30,000 plus runners to worry about.
Like, how many cones does it take to put on a marathon?
We have over 500 cones, and that's just what we ourselves provide, as well as what City of Pittsburgh DPW puts out there, as well as some other vendors.
Thousands of cones in the end.
Pretty much thousands of cones out there.
And I'm seeing a bunch of water cups over here. You've just got tons of them.
Yeah, and this is probably the smallest. You'll see this pile right here as we're towards the end of the year for us. But we have water cups. We also have cups from Noon, which is our hydration partner, with their label on. All these cups are compostable. P3R, since its inception, has really focused on sustainability. I'll place another order of just under 500,000 cups to come into the warehouse to go out at the water stops for the marathon, but also for our water stops throughout the year. So this line of pallets is on the very small side right now compared to what we would have in here come April of next year.
Okay, behind us we've got a ton of folding tables and then just rakes. So many rakes back here. Rakes and shovels and brooms. And is this part of like the cleanup effort after a race?
Yeah, it's really the cleanup effort at a water stop. So the rakes and the shovels help, sweep that up. That way, when that water stop's all wrapped up and cleaned up, it looks like we were never there. And as we walk back here, as you see at events, is the signage. So signs are needed to direct runners, to direct participants, volunteers in the right direction. So.
Well, wait a second. I just looked over here, and this is like just stacks and stacks and stacks of like a million signs. This is crazy. So what do we got here? This is start line corral. We've got like, what are all these things over here? It's like a library of signs. Okay, we got like volunteer parking over here. We've got hotel traffic only. I didn't expect this one. You've just got like a sign for every occasion.
Yeah, sometimes, as you can see, tons of signs. A lot of them are generic, to be able to use at, different races. Some of them are event specific.
Like if your name is Rick, take a left.
So I don't know if we get that specific, but, sometimes.
We just have an ON here. Must be part of a much larger sign. It just says on.
With the colors, I know that's part of Kids Marathon. Come marathon time, the main medical tent there at the finish line, operates like a little hospital almost. Besides doing a surgery, everything that you probably would find at a hospital will be in that tent. But we'll load them up. We have them loaded up already. These black totes you see are ready to go out for Sunday's EQT 10 miler.
Like, what is it like the day after a marathon for you? Are you just like in bed, like, don't talk to me?
No, I don't get to do it that quick. Everything you see in here, if you would come in here, we'll load up for marathon weekend. We'll load up that Wednesday before all the trucks. If you would come into this warehouse, everything you just saw pretty much would be gone because it's out somewhere on the course, at the start line, at the finish line. It's gone. So it all comes back in here. We have a fantastic warehouse crew, fantastic warehouse manager, Fred Cade, who manages everything here and pretty much gets it back in here.
Oh, wow. Okay, you got something big in the works over here. What are we looking at?
So this is our finish line inflatable right here. So yeah, we have these inflatables that we can put the event logo on there, as you see. And
One year, different sponsors join up, then you can attach them to it, or you can customize the race or whatever.
yeah, exactly. So we'll use these throughout the year for the different ones. So
Is this a whole other banner that's just folded up in here, a whole other starting line?
yeah, so what you see laid out here on the ground right now, when Evan and his team is all finished prepping this, they'll fold it all back up, and it'll fit right in here in this bag that we'll put on the truck. And then, as you see right behind you is the blower that helps, blow it up.
It is wild. There are just like so many parts and pieces to think of that. Do you just have like a massive Excel spreadsheet?
Each event pretty much has their own Excel, their own Google Doc. A lot of space used up on the Google Drive between maps of the courses to layouts of what the start line, finish line should look like with fence lines. We have plans, like this for all of our events, all kind of other maps.
Just make sure you get all the details right.
Exactly. Attention to detail is key, and one of the reasons I love this job that I have, it's not the same every time.
Yeah.
Yes, this right now will be the 11th EQT 10 miler. The events happen every year, but there's always something different. And, we'll sit there and plan for months and years in advance. We'll put it together. We'll put out the map of how things are going to go in the street or in the park or the time that we're going to do everything. But when you get to race week, you usually can just, throw that plan out the window because the weather has changed, and that's going to dictate what you do.
Well, Brian, thanks so much for the tour. This was so cool to see how you put it all together, and good luck with this race and all the races coming up.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. If ever there was a sign to stop this, there you go.